morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You know, I usually try to wait.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning.
Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Good morning. Uncle Lou here. Thanks for watching today's edition of Coffee Talk with Uncle Lou. This one's going to be on, I'm going to put this one on both channels because I'm going to talk about football today for the Coffee Talk video. Spring practice starts today for UGA. So what I'm going to do is for the next couple of weeks, every day I will be doing a spring practice video. So I will be updating any news or information that we get or that comes out from the previous day's practice. And just like every year with spring football, Uncle Lou's primary concern for spring football is that no one gets injured, especially anything serious. That's always my number one concern with spring practice, is that something happens to somebody and you lose them. But so hopefully no injuries. And of course, the most exciting thing this year with spring practice, everybody wants to see Eason, and see what he's going to do. So I'll have a video every day about the previous day's spring practice. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today, I don't know what made me think of this earlier, but I want to know, especially if you're a Georgia fan, but I know there's a lot of people that watch these videos that aren't Georgia fans. Some of you aren't even college fans or NFL fans. But I want to know the first time you went to your team's game. The first game you went to in person. When was it? How old were you? Who'd they play? Who won? Who were your favorite players from that year's team? That kind of thing. Let me know in the comments down below. Or if you're a video maker, make a video about this. I want to know. I mean, it's the off season. There's nothing else going on. So, let's reminisce about the good old days. So let Uncle Lou know the first time you went to see your team play live. Who'd they play? Who won? Favorite players from that year's team. You get the idea. Let me know. If you're not a video maker, put it in the comments down below or on Facebook or wherever you're watching this. And if you're in the TTC or you're a video maker, make a video. I want to know. I'm legitimately curious. For me, the first Georgia game I went to was in 1989. I was 10 or 11 years old. I think I've told this story before, but I grew up in a household that was more baseball oriented. My dad's a huge Atlanta Braves fan and baseball fan in general. He coached my baseball team every year that I played, from T-ball through minor league through little league, until I started playing for the schools and things like that. So we went to a ton of Braves games when I was a kid, but we didn't go to any football games. Now, we would watch football games on TV and things like that, but, him being more of a baseball fan, that's sort of how I grew up. Now, in middle school, I had a friend who was a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan, and his family had tickets, and I was in 6th grade, 1989, and this friend of mine, John was his name, and his family took me to my first Georgia game in Athens, 1989. We played the Baylor Bears, and I don't remember much about the game. This was almost 30 years ago now, so I don't remember a whole lot of specifics about the game. I'd be lying if I tried to give you some sort of recap on the game. I had to look it up this morning to even remember what year it was. I couldn't remember. I knew it was either late 80s or early 90s. But I couldn't remember the year. I had to look it up. It must have been a pretty boring game, though. Georgia did win 15-3, but it must have been a pretty boring game. Some of the players on that year's team for the Dogs, Rodney Hampton was on that team. Max Strong was on that team, so you Georgia fans will remember those guys. Somebody who wasn't a big deal at the time, but has turned into sort of a big deal over the last 10 to 15 years for a different reason. Bill Goldberg was on that team. Of course, he went on to some wrestling fame. some years back. Yep. And of particular importance to Uncle Lou, there was a guy on that team by the name of Arthur Marshall. He was a receiver. He didn't do a whole lot that year in '89. But he was on the team that year. And he's from Augusta, where I lived at the time and still live now. He went to Hephzibah High School, which is 30 minutes from where I'm at right now. We didn't go to the same high school, or whatever. He was much older than me, obviously. I went to a different high school when I went to high school. But he was from here. So that was kind of a big deal at the time that we had a local kid playing for UGA. He did play in the NFL too. He played for, I believe he played for the Broncos and the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. Arthur Marshall, was his name. Played 5-6 years in the NFL. Nothing spectacular, but still hometown kid, makes it big, that kind of thing. But anyway, the one thing I do remember about that game when we played Baylor specifically, it was cool to see Uggo. It was my first time, being at the game live. So everything I saw was the first time seeing it live. But somebody tell me, I don't know if Baylor still does this or not. I don't remember seeing it since then. But at this game, Baylor had an actual bear, a real bear, on the sideline, running around. I mean, I reckon they had him on a leash or something. I don't know how really you leash up a bear, but they did. They had a real live bear on the sideline during that game. I do remember that. But anyway, that was the first UGA game I went to. Yep. So let me know down below. First time you went to see your team play live, what you thought about it, what happened, who won, yada yada yada. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good morning.